Hey guys, welcome back to another Sam Macer Certified Classic with this video.
Certified Classic?
Certified Classic. This is going to be...
What does that mean?
This is going to be a Hall of
the
Fame
ages.
video.
Does
Yeah.
this mean aliens will watch it in like 4,000 years' time?
Yes.
And they'll find a hard drive in space when Earth's gone, it's been destroyed, and they'll see they'll put the USB in,
Yeah.
and they'll see this video and they'll be like, wow, that's
We will be the remaining evidence of what existed
cool.
in humanity.
Cool, man. I'm
This
hyped.
video. Those of you watching us
It's a
sniff
lot of pressure,
chemicals. I don't think the aliens have high expectations of us, but I think this will be a fun video. I think the viewers today are going to have high expectations, and we're going to have a fun scent testing session today. Make sure you check out our brand, Atrium Fragrance, which is on a mission to promote creativity in the industry. By clicking the link in the description below, you gain access to a free sample as a first-time buyer, as well as exclusive written and video fragrance content by joining our newsletter. Enjoy. If you guys don't know, Sam Macer is a technical perfumer who does really great technical videos on YouTube. You should go subscribe to him if you want to learn about perfumery itself, raw materials, how to blend. Was that a fair summary?
Description, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And you also have your own fragrance brand called Zurai.
Yes.
Currently, and you've made a recent release called Aquatica, which I think is very nice, guys. Very
you.
fresh,
Thank you.
aromatic, crisp, clean, nice signature all year round.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And today we're going to test 5 fragrances.
Okay.
You don't know why I've chosen these 5 fragrances, but then I want you to give us your thoughts on them and just give us a rating for each one. Okay, and as you're smelling this, the viewers will be able to see the criteria as to why oh, sorry, I've done it the wrong way around again. Yeah, it's on the wrong end of the strip.
Yeah.
But we'll manage today somehow.
Okay, it smells like I've walked into a swimming pool changing room.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And everyone's having a shower, they've got their shampoo out, a nice fresh clean smell. Then suddenly it's a bit more nuanced as I smell into it, you know.
I think it does have an initial fresh cleanliness to it. Absolutely, yeah.
It smells like quite your classic kind of fougere, just aquatic, a bit aromatic.
Okay.
It's a little bit herby.
Okay.
There may be some lavender or something in there. And it's got a bit of a sweetness to it as well. So maybe there's some, I don't know, maybe some labdanum, or, it could be some little bits of patchouli or tiniest bit of rose or something. Yeah, I don't know.
What do you say?
Oh, out of 10, I don't know. It smells.
I know what you mean. People, I think people are going to judge you for your opinion for you saying that, but I don't think we should. We need to keep those really raw, unedited judgments. Not to worry.
Why is this
not to
really
worry.
nice perfume or something?
No, I think people will say, "Oh no, this doesn't smell like it." But actually, I kind of agree with what you just said. I think it's a very mainstream perfume.
Yeah.
It's got a certain reputation. This is the great thing about you, who don't you don't really care about it, the market. You do your own thing more than anything else, which a lot of perfumers
I'm probably the
do.
worst person to be having to do.
No. Don't say no.
I know nothing about this stuff.
I actually think you're perfect for it, because you kind of give a very raw and unbiased opinion on these kinds of things. Because in the fragrance community, people would say these kind of fragrances have a certain reputation.
Oh yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, exactly, which is great, because I think it's a really interesting point. That's what's the whole point of this video. You're not meant to give us the typical point of view that everyone else can say.
I didn't know the marketing in advance. I haven't been told
Don't worry. Exactly. When people don't realize, when you smell something blind, you actually smell it in a very raw and different way. And I actually agree with what you said. I think this fragrance, which is meant to be your date night ambery fragrance, you kind of point out some but people will be like, "Oh, there's no way it's fougere. It's no way it's it's blue."
Fougere and blue, I'd say.
Yeah, exactly. Stick with it. Stick with it. Yeah.
I mean, it smells like that kind of. I'm not gonna lie.
I know
at least the top note smelled like that shower gel thing. To be fair, now it's started to dry down. And you say amber. I do smell that coming through a lot more.
Yeah, when you have the note
it's weird. It's they took Sauvage top notes and mixed it with more your ambery base note, which is I think a bit more unusual, because normally you don't do that so much.
Yeah, I think when people have their notes in front of them, they can experience the dry down and experience everything on their skin. It's very different. But I think what you said, actually, I do agree with that. It does have fougere qualities to it, even though a lot of people will be typing in the comments right now saying no way, but actually I do agree, and I know what you mean about Sauvage. It had the designer mainstream molecule, presumably, that a lot of mainstream perfumes have.
And it's also not just fougere, but a bit chypre. When you have labdanum
Labdanum, patchouli, and
probably something like oak moss in there as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is very mainstream. This is an excellent fragrance in my opinion, but we want your opinion.
Yeah.
I shouldn't bias you actually, but
it's hard to say though, because
but let me help you out with these videos, because before I never tell you the price tag. I'm going to tell you that this is about a 40 to 50 pound fragrance. What would you give this out of 10 knowing that?
Oh, you know what? So the more it's drying down, the more I start to like it. I got to say, because it's starting to remind me a little bit now of what do you call it? La Nuit de Long, a little bit.
Oh, okay, interesting.
It must be something to do with the sweetness and the musks, maybe the combination of like slight musk and vanilla they use.
I will say La Nuit de
So
Long
I'm
has
liking
fougere
it.
aspects as well.
Yeah, I'm starting to like it more and more. So it's £50 as well. I would give it a decent rating then. Maybe like, I don't know, 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
I think it's not bad. Like, pretty good.
Okay.
At £50, maybe 8.5. I don't know, why not?
Yeah.
Could be, yeah. It's hard to say, but it's not bad. If it's only 50 quid, I feel like...
We'll come back to,
Yeah,
we'll come back to all these at the end as well, and see if you still agree, because then it'll dry down a little bit. That'll help you out. I think make it a bit more fair. Fantastic. Let's go to number 2 then. 32% of people who watch School of Scent are subscribed to us. If you guys want to see our channel grow, to really help us out, click subscribe. Let's get that number to 40%. Thank you. Let us know your thoughts on this.
It's a bit like, a little bit violet leaf kind of smell. Like it's got slight green elements to it, Something like maybe a violif would be a molecule, or maybe a slight touch of cis-free hexanyl acetate, something like that.
Okay.
A little bit banana-y.
Yeah.
But it's got this nice sweetness to it. It's like almost like I feel like there's ethyl maltol quite heavily in there. Like that kind of, I don't know what it'd be classed as a note, but they might write it as like caramel or amber or something like that.
Toffee, something like that.
Toffee, yeah. And they come together nicely because it's a bit more unusual, I think, this one. And also comes with like maybe a green note like that with a more of a toffee note. But it's nice. It's nice. Yeah, I like this. This is good.
If I told you this is like a £60 fragrance, what would you give this out of 10?
Yeah, that's solid. I would rate that more than the other one, I think, just because of the originality of it.
Okay.
So in that case, maybe we rate this one like a 9, and then the other one like we leave it on like an 8 or something. Okay.
First one's an 8, second one's a 9. Nice.
Yeah.
Fragrance number 3.
For me, this is like way too much of the like Oris, like Evernyl, or Veramos, it's also called. It's like an oak mossy kind of molecule. It's like thick and powdery, heavy, not really my kind of thing so much. But I think some people like this. It's not my thing. I'm not the biggest fan. That doesn't mean it's bad. If you like Oris, you like powdery, heavy, thick notes, then yeah, this could be nice for you. How much is it?
Let's say this is around £80.
Yeah. Maybe if you're like a bit more like, you want something a bit more traditional, a little bit more. I think often Oris is called more of a sophisticated note. So you want a bit more old-fashioned. You like Oris, powdery, thick musk, violety notes, and you want maybe an entry-level fragrance. I can imagine this could be okay, but potentially
an entry-level Iris then potentially.
Potentially, yeah. But for me, I don't like it as much. I'm not gonna lie, but that's more personal taste. So I'll give it I'll give it like a 6, but it doesn't mean it's a 6 for everyone. Just a 6, not myself.
No, I actually agree with you. I personally, this is not to my taste, this fragrance. I objectively give this fragrance a high score personally, but I think subjectively I might actually be similar to you. But a lot of people might all hate on that because, some people love this fragrance. But I completely agree, and I think you've described it perfectly. I honestly do.
I'll take that.
Here you go, boss. Fragrance number 4.
This one's a bit weaker, right? It feels like a bit more subtle to me.
But
well, maybe it's just because I've smelled too much stuff just now, but it's like a bit too sweet for me. This one, it's like a bit too sweet. It's like again with like the ethyl maltol, probably a little bit of vanillin, maybe some fructone or something, and it feels like it's going in.
What kind of scent does fructone give? I don't know that molecule.
Fructone's like a sweet fruity molecule. It's less sweet toffee. It's more like, imagine you're biting into the flesh of an apple, and not the appley bits, but the sweet, like sugary smell.
Interesting. If you have the notes on the screen right now, people might understand what you're referring to in that note breakdown, actually, which is quite cool.
For me, I feel like this is going a little bit in the Baccarat Rouge direction.
Okay.
Not like completely. It doesn't smell like a clone of it or anything like that. But it's got the same, like, it's quite heavy on like the thick sweetness. Nice. I don't know. It's fine. Like it's alright. Again, like I think maybe this one's not quite so much to my taste, but you can smell that in like the musks and the kind of, they've got like a fairly nice balance, I think, of kind of sweet base notes with musks. and it's almost a slight coconutty effect.
Okay.
Like not really, but like just a slight, maybe some coumarin or something.
Yeah, coumarin again is related to tonka bean, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it could be one that actually dries down quite nicely. So it's hard for me to say. My initial impression, it was like the first one. The initial thoughts were like not so much, but the more I smell into it, it could be quite a nice like lingering scent.
This is 140 pounds, I believe, and or 120, 140, something like that. And what would you give that out of 10 for that price tag?
I mean, for that price tag, I feel like you could get stuff just as nice as that for like the 50, 60 range.
Okay.
So I don't know. Yeah, it's fine, but realistically, then I don't know. I would just give it like what's average, like 6, 5, 6, something like that. Like
so 5.5 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah, just average, like whatever, you know.
Cool.
It's fine.
Nice. I love it. And then last fragrance.
Wait. I smelled it, and for like the first microsecond, I was like, "That's quite nice." And then I smelled it another microsecond, and I was like, "Oh, that smells like Tiger Balm."
Yeah, too many microseconds.
So
on the sense strip, yeah.
I'm intrigued now. It's an interesting one.
Maybe a bit of challenge in the scent profile, maybe.
So it's a bit like camphoraceous.
Camphorous, yeah. Oh yeah, camphoraceous. Which is sort of related to like eucalyptus, outdoorsy.
Exactly, like things like eucalyptus.
Kind of sense.
It's interesting, like it's weird because normally in perfumes, like those camphoraceous eucalyptusy notes can make your perfumes just smell a bit like, I don't know, but like I find it gives a bit of a medicinal smell, and I normally find that's not what I like in perfumes, and this does have a bit of a medicinal smell, often a result of using like lots of naturals, which is why normally designer brands go for more, let's say, a lot of synthetics, and they're usually quite light on the naturals because you risk a medicinal smelling perfume. That said, despite it smelling medicinal, I don't think it's done that badly because it kind of gives me a bit of a Tiger Balm vibe, and it's got a really nice like ambery, very slight incense vibe to it. So it's got this like nice, rich sweetness to it. It's like a balsam kind of smell. Like so it's a bit like not just ambery, but it's like other almost tree resins, which make it a bit incensey. So, and that on top of that camphoraceous smell, it gives me the vibe of like a I don't know, maybe some like Tibetan temple or something. And it's a bit like honeyed as well. Right?
Honeyed, yeah.
A little bit honeyed. So I think this is definitely a niche.
Let's have the notes on the screen now as you're saying this.
I think I'm kind of, it's growing on me as well. There's probably a little bit of rose or something. I don't know though. So it depends. I think this is like a niche pick where it's actually, this could be quite expensive and it will be worth that much, even if it was quite a lot, like £200. Like it's a nicely put together perfume. But the caveat is it's a very like, because it's so niche, it's very like taste specific. So this will not be for like 90% of people, but for the 10% of people who really like it, this will be like, it's like a nice luxury niche fragrance or something. This I think will just connect with some people, and I think, wow, this is really nice. It reminds me of something like warm and cozy, or I don't know, it reminds me of some kind of experience I had. Okay. And I think for those people that it connects with, it'll be like a really good perfume.
Nice.
But it's definitely not generic perfume.
I think which is good because this is a niche 200 to 240 pound fragrance. What would you give this out of 10 knowing that?
I give it like an 8 because when I smell it, I don't think like this is the best thing ever I've smelled. But I feel like it sits really nicely within its niche and it's done pretty well. And I feel like the 9s and the 10s are more reserved for like when stuff is really like impressive, right? Whereas I think it's good enough to be an 8 still though. I don't think it's like, oh, this is just like kind of nice or right. It's actually, I think for the right person, this is pretty nice, like pretty good. This is actually like solid. Like this could be someone's favorite perfume. I can really imagine them thinking like that this perfume being special to someone and it being their favorite perfume if they just like this kind of smell. Yeah, cool. So that's why I give it an 8.
An 8, fantastic. Okay, let's take a little break. Give us all a few minutes, and then we'll just do a quick wrap up after they've all dried down, so you see if you stick with your ratings.
A few moments later.
Okay, Sam.
Okay.
So final wrap up. I still haven't told you the title of the video yet.
Yeah.
Now, tell me, we're going to go through each strip. Do you want to see the bottle as you're smelling it, or do you just want to smell?
I'll put them in. Let me reorder them in.
Okay. So you rank them now from 5 to 1.
So. I feel like that's gone down a lot. I feel like you just don't smell it so strong.
Yeah, yes, you make a good point. Yeah.
That's got way worse now.
Way worse, okay.
Well, it just smells a bit waxy now, and it's kind of like, I feel like now it's just definitely worse than it was.
So before this was an 8 out of 10.
It's like it was all top note though. Like now I feel like the base is gone. Where is it? There should be a nice base note there, but there isn't.
Okay, fair enough.
Unless my nose is gone, but...
No, that's a good point. Some people might say it doesn't perform as well as they want to, yeah? So are you going to keep it there?
No, I think it's going to have to come down now.
To what?
Well, let me smell the rest first.
Okay, fine.
But, because I have to be a bit relative on the ratings. Okay, so this one, still nice. Big fan. It's like a nice, it's bright, it's a bit springtime. Like it's... I don't know, it could be all year round because it's got the toffee notes, which could be quite autumnal, and then it's got all vegetable from like vegetal. It sounds weird, not vegetables like vegetables, but green notes can also be called vegetal because they're like often green notes in like fruits and vegetables or like leaves and things. That could be good for autumn leaves, but it also has got a freshness to it, so it could be like spring or autumn. Okay. I like this one, the second one. I'm still a fan of that. This one, the Oris one, still not the biggest fan. This one. That sweet one, it's still like fine, it's meh, whatever. Didn't you say that one was a bit more expensive?
Yeah, this was 120, 130 pounds.
I'm leaning less towards that now. I feel like most of these are going to come down. First one, I don't know, man. The base note's crap. I'm going to have to take this down to a 4 because it actually is now disappointing me.
Okay, 4 out of 10, yeah.
So, I'm sorry. I'm not saying like, because most perfume reviewers, their actual rating scale is like 6 as a 1 to like 10 as a 10. Yeah, they don't even rate things as like 2s or 3s, so it's like BS. So like I'm saying 4 as an actual 4. Like if 5 was average, like this is I think below average. So it's gonna have to be a 4. It doesn't mean it's like terrible. It just means it's below average. That's all.
Fair enough. Yeah.
This thing, I'm loving this. This is like I think this is a good pickup. This is like probably my favorite one here in the sense that it's cheap and it's good. Whereas the last one, which is the other one I quite like, was like expensive and it's good. So you'd expect that. So it's not as profound. This one, I'll give it a 9. I like that.
Nice.
This one here, the Oris one, I don't know, it's fine. It's like 5, 6, it's just 5, let's say. It's just average, it's fine. If you like Oris, this will be much higher for you. This could be an 8 or something. All right, next one. I don't know, it just smells a bit generic, a bit too much sweet, a bit too much ethyl maltol and all that. But you said it was a high price, like 140 quid. This just smells like a Baccarat Rouge dupe with some modifications to it. So you know what? This one's below average. Disappoints me. I'll give it a 4 as well.
Nice.
Or maybe 3.5. I don't know. It's just I don't see the point of it. But because at least the other one's cheap. So this one's expensive and it's a disappointment. So this, man, that one's like a 3. Like, why not? This one, the last one, I'm a big fan. I think it's a cool perfume. I'll give it an 8. The reason this one doesn't get the 9 is because its price point is high. So, it's like, this is kind of what I would expect for that price point. And it's also, it's not as broad. Like, I think that's fair ratings.
Cool, thanks man. Appreciate your honesty.
Honest.
Yeah, brutally honest. I love that. That's so cool. It gives it an interesting video. It's not like a boring. You're right. All the reviewers are scared to give anything below.
I don't know why are they.
Myself included.
why are they? It's because the commenters.
Yeah, because the haters come for you.
Destroy you.
Yeah, exactly. And
like they're gonna come for me.
They're gonna come for you probably
I don't
for
mind
this video.
It's cool.
I really liked your first description because it's such a unique and interesting, different description for the first frame. So I'll show them to you one by one. So the theme of this video today was Perfumer tries the highest rated winter fragrances, which is so funny.
Was this your ones?
These are just the highest rated on Fragrantica.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I made it so they.
I mean, this smelled really nice to begin with. I was gonna give it like an 8 or a 9.
Dolce Gabbana,
I was like, it was only the dry down disappointed me.
Dolce Gabbana, the one is notorious. A lot of people hate how weak it is. They say it doesn't perform very well.
It was on track for a really good result. It just ruined it with the.
It was on track.
Base notes.
Come on, D&G.
I'm not. Yeah, it's literally that.
I think it is a nice fragrance. I like the scent profile about it. It is, and I know what you mean. It's quite interesting how you said like, it's got the fougere and blue design. It's got those main. I know what you mean. It probably does have the hydromercinol in it, even though a lot of people won't agree. This is Azzaro Mercinol, the one you really liked.
What's this? Like some kind of.
It's like a toffee. The note breakdown is so simplistic on Fragrantica, but it's actually what you said is probably more interesting. Got a lot more things. It does have like I think it's quite simplistic, but mainstream lovable fragrance.
It's really nice.
Yeah, but it's got some fresh aspects to it, as you said. Yeah. Then the third one was Dior fragrance, Dior Homme Intense.
Okay.
So a lot of people stand by this. I can see why.
I think it's just it's like this one is
a certain style.
You can't rate it on like how good it is.
Yeah.
As in, objectively speaking, it smells like it's a good put together perfume. My 5 as average is probably doing a bit of a disservice just because Oris isn't my thing.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah,
but
exactly.
I genuinely feel like from perfumery point of view,
it's still
it's well put together.
Yeah,
so more objectively, you could probably put it as like a 7.
Okay.
But it's just more. I think this one's going to be more polarizing.
Yeah,
Depending
absolutely.
on who likes this kind of smell.
It did really badly in we did public reactions for it. I didn't get a single point, I think. But that goes to show it's a specific style.
Yeah.
And just because a lot of the frag heads in the community love it doesn't mean it's lovable by everyone. But at the same time, guys, it depends on your skin. Obviously, you're spending on a paper strip. In the past as well, in other videos, you've liked fragrances that you didn't like on paper strip and ended up liking on your skin. So
That's true.
we take it with a grain of salt, guys.
Yeah, so I give that average, but I'm not saying it's necessarily average. I'm just saying it's average for me.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I understand. And this is number 4 is Aaron Terence Hughes Hard Candy.
What a name. What is that, man? Oh no. Oh, not a
Hard Candy. It's,
what a name.
yeah, this is one of the more mild naming names of Aaron's brand.
Okay. That's
I've
got to cater to your audience, you know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's like it's fine, but it's just I don't know. I feel like it's not. I feel like you can get similar for cheaper, let's say, or better for the same price.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know.
It's got real oud in it. Did you smell real oud?
No, I didn't smell that actually.
Yeah, I don't think it's prominent. I think
the problem with oud is that if you put in a small amount of oud in a fragrance, it doesn't necessarily have notes that people associate with oud. You wouldn't necessarily smell there's oud in there. The thing about oud is most brands actually dishonestly say other stuff is oud that's not.
I want to say that about Aaron. Aaron actually has proof.
I think
on his page for
he has a proof on his page, right? So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think that's actually probably
a
good, honest way to market it. But a lot of brands, for example, there's like hand soap in Sainsbury's. There's like oud wood hand soap or whatever.
Yeah,
It's £3. Obviously, it doesn't have oud in.
Yeah.
What they do is they take woody ambers, like Isoe Super,
Yeah.
and put a slight sweetener molecules in, like maybe a bit of ethyl maltol, and they have this kind of blend that smells a little bit sweet incense balsamic.
They synthetically
They just say that's our oud notes,
Yeah,
and it's when they don't use oud as a raw material. As a marketing note, they just put oud. And because so many people do that, most consumers don't know what real oud smells like. They've just learned that this kind of ambery woody note is oud. When really oud, if you actually go and smell it, is more leathery. It's more woody.
Multifaceted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's at the point where if you tell me a perfume's like an oud perfume, even I would expect it to go in that that certain kind of direction. Which I don't think that perfume smells like, but that's not a bad thing. It doesn't. I think
it probably has a tiny amount of it. It doesn't smell like a particularly strong aspect of it, but it does have a long-lasting woodiness to it in my experience. But yeah, fair enough.
I just think that
you don't like the style.
It's a bit too sweet, and I think it's too pricey, and it's not that unique. I just think you can get it's like nice enough, but I also think you can get nice enough stuff in like the 50-60 range. So it's like, then why would you bother going to the 140 or whatever it was, right? That's all.
Fair enough, yeah. I respect that, respect the opinion. And this is the last one here, Xerjoff Naxos, which is a nice bottle, which is why I don't like showing it.
I swear we had like a Xerjoff perfume before that I quite liked as well. There's like the drummer from someone.
Oh yeah, a Monkey Special.
That was really nice.
Yeah. Tony, I think it was the guitarist of Black Sabbath.
So I'm learning from these videos that Xerjoff is a pretty nice brand.
Xerjoff is an excellent brand.
It's got like tobacco notes in that as well or something.
Oh, nice. You picked up the tobacco. Yes, it does. It has like...
When I smell it from the bottle, it suddenly smells really tobacco-y.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like tobacco, lavender, and honey is the main stuff.
Okay, that's completely what it's... Yeah, that makes so much sense.
Exactly. Yeah. Nice. So, fair enough, bro. Do you have any thoughts on this video? So these were the highest rated winter fragrances on Fragrantica. They all have at least 100 votes, and I just have picked them, and they're all at least 4.5 and above on Fragrantica, which is a very high score.
Yeah, I mean, if it was me, as like I don't know, I just like these two. I think these are like solid pickups.
Yeah, the Xerjoff and the
budgets and all that.
Cool.
The other three I personally wouldn't bother with, but I think they could be for the right person in the right situation. So.
Nice. Awesome, man. I think this has been a very interesting and educational video and gives a new and interesting perspective on how these fragrances are created. Because as I said, guys, blind tested them on paper, not on the skin, mainly the opening, and you don't know the packaging and you don't know the branding to bias you. It really does change things. And I've been in the same position before.
Yeah.
Fragrances, I'm like, okay, testing them blind is a lot more difficult than knowing the bottle. And like most consumers, when they actually approach a fragrance, they see the packaging and it kind of gives them an idea. Scent is so much like that. You put an idea in someone's head and they'll be like, oh, I smell that now, for example. That's what happens to me anyways, at the very least. Like some fragrances, they're like, oh, I think I smell this, and someone says there's pineapple in there. I'm like, oh my god, there's so much pineapple in here now. Do you know what I mean? Do you get that as well, or am I just going crazy? It's difficult to blind test fragrances.
Yeah, that's very true. When you find,
and I think you did
even
really
when
well
I've been smelling raw materials with people
Yeah.
before, like for example, I did some videos with Sarah McCartney, who's another perfumer.
Yeah.
And we could all have like, you know, someone could be smelling a scent strip and be like, can't quite put my finger on it, and I say, oh, to me this smells like apples, and then as soon as I say that, it's like, oh.
Yeah,
that's like the smell of apples.
That's huge bias in scent.
Crazy.
People can put ideas
an idea
in
in someone's head.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Make sure to check out our previous videos with Sam Macer.
I feel like you should make a playlist at this point, you know.
We will. See you guys in the next one. Bye.